Hey everyone, and welcome to a reskin of Generation Next. Yes, that's right, we are back, but this time we're called Console Crew because, you know, we all love consoles and play games on them all the time. I'm Lucy James, joined as usual by Xbox expert Jordan Ramey.
What's up?
PlayStation Pro Tamoor Hussein.
This is an asset flip, and you should all be ashamed of yourselves, lazy creators.
That's what's
happening.
An HD remake.
I was worried that we've been off air for so long that people might have forgotten who I am, so I've just very handily worn a jumper that says my name on it, just in case people are wondering which one of these is Tam again. It's me.
But make sure to subscribe. We've got new episodes of Console Crew every Friday, now with added Nintendo.
Woohoo! Oh yeah!
This week we had the first Nintendo Direct in
Here we go!
in over 500 days. So
It's been such a long time.
it's been 84 years. Before we delve into the Zelda stuff, give me an emotion that the Nintendo Direct made you feel.
Oh, whoa.
That counts as your emotion.
I'm gonna do Nintendo noises all episode.
Jordan?
Just pain. Just constant pain. Like, I knew going in that Silksong wasn't going to be a part of the Direct, but it was still so sad not to see it there.
Yeah, I mean, no Silksong, no Metroid, no Bayonetta, a lot of
How
stuff.
can we hurt Jordan specifically today?
No Elden Ring?
Look.
It's ridiculous.
Let's talk about Zelda. So the thing that I wanted to say is, did Nintendo forget Zelda's birthday is on Sunday? If you're watching this on the day that we release this episode.
It's Zelda's birthday, but when is it Link's birthday? That's what I want to know.
When is International Link's birthday?
He has many birthdays because he reincarnates over and over again.
Regularly. Every day is Link's birthday. I like his style.
So yeah, big elephant in the room there. We don't have anything really about Breath of the Wild 2 other than more information will be coming later this year. No mention of anything else like Wind Waker HD or Twilight Princess HD or what I really want, because I really want to play them, Ocarina of Time or Majora's Mask. So nothing, but we did get Skyward Sword. How do you guys feel about that?
I'm sure people are thrilled about that. Thrilled to get Skyward Sword.
Some people are thrilled. I will say, Skyward Sword is underappreciated. And to be clear, I'm not saying it's a good game. I'm not saying it's an amazing game. I'm saying it's underappreciated. Mainly because the motion controls back in the day were poop from a butt. And I'm glad that there's now an option to play that game without motion controls. You can play with motion controls if you want, but I'm glad I can just press buttons. Actually, a pretty fun game I found for the most part. A lot of, as they mentioned in the Direct, a lot of ideas that would carry forward into Breath of the Wild. Also, banging soundtrack, great soundtrack. The title theme, reversed version of Zelda's Lullaby. Very good theme.
It's not even the motion controls for me. 5 feet, however you pronounce that name, just... her existence and like constant like showing up to be like, hello Jordan, I hear that you're just a colossal dumbass. Let me explain to you exactly what you have to do next. I'm like, shut up, please. If you just remove her from the game, I think Skyward Sword is pretty damn good and I would play it, but I hope that they like cut down on how often she interjects in the
They will not.
HD
They will not. They will not.
It's
You'll get nicer textures and maybe a little bit of tweaking to the control scheme, but that's it. So Skyward Sword, Skyward Sword makes sense because it's the 10th anniversary. Evan, our astute editor, yes, he's back, made a very great point about the fact that they're not doing anything for Zelda's 35th anniversary this weekend because it's still Mario's anniversary year. And so Mario there taking the claim on the birthday year up until March 31st. So maybe that's when we'll start getting the Zelda stuff rolling in. And he also made the great point, it's like Mario had the Mario, not Mario.
Mario time!
It's Mario time. Made the great point that maybe that's when they'll do like the bundles of all of the older games for a limited time only.
Or maybe they just don't give a single and are like, yeah, whatever. Let's give these nerds Skyward Sword, and maybe they leave us alone for a little while.
I mean, they'll buy it again for $60. We can charge them anything they want, and they'll buy it.
It should be like someone just leaning in. You're lucky I don't put an expiration timer on this again.
Anyway, happy birthday, Zelda.
I hope they do some more stuff with Zelda. I want more out of Zelda. Give us more Zelda stuff.
Give us Bayonetta 3. Okay, Xbox time now. Jordan, what has been going on in the Valley of the Jolly Green Giant this week? You know, I started to put that in my head and I was like...
For people who don't have the context, Jolly Green Giant in the UK was used to sell sweet corn.
Oh, Green Giant. Okay, Jordan.
Okay, so we're running with that. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so Xbox has this new thing called FPS Boost, which I originally completely thought that they were going to just like boost all their first-person shooters, but it makes way more sense that it's for the frame rates for their games. So they're basically doubling and quadrupling the frame rate for certain select titles. Games like Far Cry 4, which is getting boosted to 60 FPS, and New Super Lucky's Tale, which is going up to 120 FPS, which is
too many
kind
frames.
of a lot
Ooh,
for
how
a
many
3D platformer.
How many frames does that little squirrel thing need? Relax.
I've never even played New Super Lucky's Tale.
It's
Is it
pretty good, honestly. Yeah.
Okay.
There it is.
I'm like, I realize that I'm just complaining about it, and I have no context for
It's a lot like
this
Skyward
game is.
Sword. It's not amazing, but it's kind of underappreciated.
It's cute.
There's a character in there that says "I vanish" a lot, which I'm into.
Oh yeah, the little cat
Remember
boy.
the cat? Yeah.
I say the most exciting thing about this is that there's like mention that they're adding like little things in the menu to let you know which games have the option for you to turn on the FPS boost, which I'm hoping means more badges to be added to the little squares to the games.
Oh,
Maybe
it's
like
not.
You
It's
love
not-
badges,
No.
don't you?
No. So I when I was writing out the roundup show, I wrote that down and I was like, Jordan's gonna.
That boy
was like-
loves him some badges.
I love
Didn't mean
the
to say-
badges.
Jordan's gonna love these badges. And then I looked at the screenshot that Xbox posted, and it's actually when you press the Xbox button, it's just on the side. It's
Oh, like
not-
the whole HDR thing?
Yeah.
Oh, that's dumb.
Yeah, not great.
Wow.
But maybe
Give me more
they'll
badges,
revisit.
Xbox.
Maybe they'll listen to this feedback and put more badges in the future.
Phil?
Well, if Jordan says
Big
it's
Phil?
stupid, then I guess we have to add the
Yeah.
B badge.
We as we know, Big Phil watches, so Big Phil, please, more badges.
Is
Thank
he the
you.
Jolly Green Giant?
He's the jolly. I imagine him like deciding which FPS game gets a boost, just walk around being like, "You get a boost, you get a boost, you get a boost."
He's just throwing darts
He's
at
just
a
pointing
board.
at it, and they're like, "Why? Super Lucky Star." It's like, I just pointed at it, didn't I?
So the Digital Foundry video on it is really, really good, and like everything's at a locked frame rate too. And apparently they were saying that like the game still thinks it's running at 30 frames per second, but it's actually 60. So the game is just sat there like, just trying to do
This
things.
is fine.
This is fine.
It's just someone, you know, when you're like running on a treadmill and you look away, and someone's just like turned up the treadmill while you've been looking away, and you're like suddenly sprinting, and you're like, "What's going on? I feel like I'm running, but I'm actually sprinting."
What do you think of the games list though? Because to me,
I-
I'm not going back to Far Cry 4.
Yeah, I love that they've collated this FPS Boost game list and put together.
it's a lot of Game Pass
Yeah, I
games,
mean,
isn't
it's a list of games that like I could not be at gunpoint made to play right now. Like, if someone comes to me and is like, "You should play UFC 4," I'd be like, "Plan my funeral." I'm not doing that.
Says the man who just grinded out Avengers to level 150.
Listen,
You
listen.
did?
He
Why?
did.
Why are you
Why?
putting me on blast like that? My girl,
sorry.
listen, Hawkeye is coming. Kamala just needed to go up 1 point, so I was like, easy peasy, I can do that. Obviously, it still took me 4 hours, but
Oh,
I
Hawkeye's
did it.
coming. You don't give a shit about Hawkeye.
listen, I am a Clint defender. Matt Fraction, Clint Barton is
I have
amazing.
never once heard you ever defend
I am a
Clint
Hawkeye
Barton.
fan. I am a Hawkeye fan. Kate is good, but like they're pulling from the Matt Fraction era, Clint Barton run, so I'm excited about that. Hopefully they bring in the tracksuit mafia, who says bro a lot. Yeah, but like seriously, I'm not playing Sniper Elite 4 or UFC 4 or you Watch Dogs 2. Get a grip, Xbox. FPS Boost some games we care about.
For PlayStation, before we go to you, Evan, please cue the music, but not enough to get us, flagged. by YouTube.
DMCA, Devil May Cry action.
I'm just playing it in my head. All you need is the first 4 bars.
I
But-
won. Yeah. I wonder if you know how they drift in Tokyo, where they make DualSense controllers. Is that where Sony makes it? Probably not. But the age-old, the most annoying issue in modern gaming, drift, has appeared on a new platform. It was formerly exclusive to Nintendo platforms. Now multi-platform problem, drift. So a bunch of
truly cross-play.
Truly cross-play.
It's becoming
yeah. Cross-platform.
truly a cross-platform,
spreading.
cross-play feature.
Yeah, it's
Sony's
just
like,
spreading.
look, y'all were complaining that we weren't playing ball
yeah.
in the whole crossplay thing.
Innit? So a week ago, a bunch of people started to report the dreaded controller drift, and just out of everywhere, threads have started to appear with people tweeting about getting drift, almost like, planned obsolescence works, where suddenly everyone who's got an iPhone at the same time goes, well, my battery life has absolutely the bed. It's kind of like that. Like a bunch of people have started reporting that they got Joy-Con drift, and they've been also reporting like about trying to get Sony to replace it, and even though like drift is covered by a warranty, but the long and short of it is there's now a class action lawsuit, which sounds serious, but like class action lawsuits are a dime a dozen these days. Anyone can file them and anyone can do them. They're like everyone is doing a class action lawsuit at some point over everything, but that's not to downplay the seriousness of this issue. So there is a law firm, the same law firm, who filed a complaint against Nintendo for the same issue, and that
Man's got a niche.
Yeah. He's got like we've got a niche and we're gonna work it. That got moved to arbitration for Nintendo. So they've filed.
I saw that much. What does arbitration mean?
It's a separate process where like the parties that are having the dispute agree to like make a decision after separately from the court system. I believe my law degree is like right in the back of my head now. It's been replaced by just reams and reams and reams of Bloodborne law. Someone might have to fact check that. But yeah, so that has gone into that class action lawsuit has been filed, and the kind of details of it is they're saying that Sony was aware of the issue, because it also kind of impacted the DualShock 4, but people are obviously less, holding their feet to the fire for that one, and more inclined to do it with a brand new console with expensive new kit. But yeah, so there's a bunch of issues with it, and they're describing it as like the fact that Sony isn't addressing it as like unlawful, deceptive, fraudulent, and unfair. So that's an ongoing thing that's happening. And I don't know about you, but I have some drift.
I've got a little bit of drift, but mine occasionally just kind of veers off to the left. Touch wood, I never actually had Switch drift, but I have experienced the DualSense drift, which sounds like some kind of terrible sugary drink.
Yeah.
So it's definitely just tied to use, right? Not just time. Because I don't have drift in my DualSense yet, but I use my Xbox a lot more than my PlayStation 5.
I mean, it's hard to say whether it's tied to use, like, or whether it's just you might just get unlucky. There's no way to really discern that right now, unless someone does a teardown and does a full-on like stress test on it for a wide range of a big sample size, basically.
Definitely feels pretty soon though. Like, didn't it take the Joy-Cons like 6 months or so for the first like drift stories to come out? Like,
so including in the text of the lawsuit, there it alleges that Sony cannot dispute that it had pre-sale knowledge of the drift defect in the DualSense controller, which is why they're going hard on it. But yeah, that's pretty much it. They're like looking for compensatory damage related to the overpayment on the controller. Whether that actually, how that ends up going, we'll have to see, but I wouldn't be surprised if it ends up in arbitration again. And Sony kind of like does. Nintendo took a really long time to acknowledge drift and also take responsibility for fixing it, and their process is still not great. Obviously, it wouldn't be great right now because of Corona and the kind of difficulties of sending stuff, but still, we'll see how it goes.
First of all, I love the fact that we've got Tam's Legal Corner as a new feature on the show. But I'd be interested in seeing how many people actually have drift. So Tam and I both have it. If you've experienced it, make sure to chuck it in the comments below. Tell us your drift experiences, because I don't know how widespread it is right now. Beyond
if you have drift experience,
threads.
if you have experience drifting controllers or cars, if you've drifted a cars, let us know how that gone. What's your longest drift?
Has this ever happened to you?
Yeah.
Let us know. Alright, that's it for your first episode of Console Crew. Like I said, we'll be back every Friday, so make sure to like this video and subscribe. And if you want to join the GameSpot Discord, DM one of us and we'll let you in. It's a nice little fun group of nice folks. Tam, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Tamoor H, where I'll be talking about lore and Bloodborne. Not lore, though. Definitely Bloodborne.
Jordan, what about you?
You can find me on Twitter at JMRemay, talking with Alessandro, probably putting together a support group for all the Silksong fans who are just still waiting for a game we thought we were going to get in 2020.
And I'm on Twitter at Lucy James Games, just, I don't know, telling bad jokes, what I usually do. Anyway, we'll see you next week. Happy birthday, Zelda!
Happy birthday, Zelda.